Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today, I wanted to talk about Dead Island 2. I've been playing for the past couple of days, and I have been enjoying it, actually. So Dead Island 2 is obviously the sequel to the original Dead Island that released way back in 2011. And at E3 2014, the game was revealed. And throughout the life cycle of Dead Island 2, it has been hell, to say the least, for its development cycle. The development of this game has been absolutely terrible because it has gone through so much throughout the years, with it being revealed first in 2014 and now just being released in 2023, 9 years later. It's crazy. Development has been insane. It has Deep Silver has just it hasn't been pretty, to say the least. But I wanted to talk about the game real quick and give my thoughts on it because I really enjoyed this game. When I'm playing it right now because I haven't finished the game yet. There is still more content for me to do. I have not beat the main story. I am very close to beating it, but the reason I haven't beat the story yet is because I want to do everything that I can before I beat the story. I want to do every side quest. I want to do pretty much everything that I can do before I beat the game. Because that's what I do whenever I play an open world or a zombie game or any type of game that has more content for you to do throughout the story. I try to do it all because I want to give my actual verdict, my 100% verdict on the game, and give you my thoughts on how I think of the game. And let me be honest, I don't think this game is as bad. I don't think it's that bad. It has been getting pretty solid reviews, mostly 7, 8 out of 10s, all around. There's one thing that people have been, or not everybody, but there's some people that have been saying that killing zombies in this game gets very repetitive, and I'm sorry, but that's just not true. I feel myself finding so much fun just going around and killing zombies everywhere throughout LA, which is number one. I want to talk about that is the location, which is this game takes place in LA. It takes place inside of LA, and the thing that I wish was a thing with this location is I wish there was a quicker way to move around. I watched Mr. Raffle Waffle's video. If you don't know who he is, he's a zombies YouTuber. I'll leave his link in the description down below. But he had a great point in that whenever I'm running around whenever I'm running around, I wish there was a way to move faster because although there's a fast travel system, it definitely feels like whenever there is a fast travel system, but whenever you want to fast travel, you have to go to a specific location, and each location is very spread out from the rest of the location that you're at, such as if you're at Venice Beach or if you're at Beverly Hills. Let's say you're across the map and you have to get across the map to across the other side of the map in order to get to the fast travel system if you want to go travel to, for say, Venice Beach, or you want to go to Monarch Studios. And that's just something, it's not very big. It's not a big thing and not like game killing, but I do find myself running around quite a lot. What I do enjoy though is that there are zombies picked kind of everywhere that you go, and the game gives me something to do whenever I'm just running around freely doing pretty much nothing. And I'm going to go to the next thing, which is the quests. With the quests, I definitely feel like the quests are a bit, they're like the same thing. Expected in a zombie game, each quest is kind of the same, where there is a survivor or, there's something and they want you to do this or go here and then bring them something back. It's kind of that same kind of whole zombie thing, zombie apocalypse game. That's kind of how each game works. Um, Sorry, but that's kind of how it works. But I do wish there was more variety in quests. Than just kind of doing the same thing over and over again. Um, but it's completely fine. Zombie apocalypse games, that's kind of how they are. That's how Dead Rising kind of is. So that's how it is. But then again, with Dead Rising, you also have the objectives such as rescuing certain survivors, and also along the way as you go, you are encountering psychopaths or bosses, as they call them, psychopaths in Dead Rising. Um, with this game, they have the kind of that thing, which is they're called crushers, and these are more powerful zombies. They are more deadly, and they just do a lot more damage, and they have more health. So they kind of have something like that, but they're not as powerful as bosses. Although in Dead Rising, the bosses aren't that hard. They're very easy, especially if you have the right weapons. Um, and which brings me to the other thing, which is the weapons in this game. There's one thing that I wish was a kind of, because here's the thing: the guns that you get in Dead Rising 2 feel like they're just not that great. Like they're good. There are some weapons that are pretty good, and if you especially equip them with the right mods and perks, then they can be really good. But what I feel like they should have done is made guns more powerful than the melee weapons. But in this game, what it feels like is that the melee weapons are more powerful, and coming from a Call of Duty player, and playing the original Dead Island, I played the original Dead Island way back. um I don't remember a whole lot, but I do remember guns as well not being as powerful as melee weapons, and I wish they were more powerful than melee weapons, because they're guns. They're weapons that are rare and you don't get as often as melee weapons, because with melee weapons you get them pretty much everywhere. You can look in any shop or any location or any building, you're gonna find a melee weapon there. So and even from zombies will drop melee weapons, and sometimes crushers will drop guns. So it's something that I wish guns were more powerful, but again, it's how it is, and it's how it goes, and that's how it is. But um, I want to talk about the story real quick, because so far, um, here's the thing: I don't I don't like the character's dialogue, if that makes sense. It's not that I'm not I'm not really hating on it. I'm just saying that they try to go for the comedic route. Depending on which character you play. I played Jacob. Depending on what the character you played, um, certain character that you play has certain dialogue, but it seems like most or every character has comedic lines. But the problem with that is that it feels like they tried to go with the punchier dialogue and just kind of make your characters try to be comedic. But the other characters seem to just don't care. So it's kind of weird and awkward. And I find myself cringing sometimes whenever whenever I'm looking at or talking to another character, and my character just drops one of the corniest lines I've ever heard. And it sucks. It definitely sucks. Oops. It definitely sucks, and I wish that was not the thing, or not the case, I should say. But it's how it is. I know what they tried to go for, but it just seemed, for me, it just didn't work. Which is another thing about the story, is that the story just seems very lacking. Like, there's not much to the story. It's just, your character, he's immune, or they're immune, and you have to contact the government, and tell them that you're immune, and so they can prepare a vaccine. That's kind of the whole basis of the story. The problem with that is that it just doesn't make sense, you know. Um, and also the characters around you are just kind of like, weird, awkward. It's just the dialogue is not there. So the story of the game is not great. And so far as you get progressively further into the story, it just gets more boring. And you find yourself sitting there during cutscenes because you want to know what's happening. You want to know what's going on, but you're just sitting there super bored or just super frustrated because you have to watch this boring cutscene that you don't want to watch, but you just kind of have to watch to find out what's going on, and it's just boring, So that's another thing is I wish the story was more captivating, and more interesting. Again, making it less comedic would help because the comedic lines are just not hitting. Sometimes like they're just too much. Um, but I'll say this: um, I do enjoy the combat. I do really enjoy the combat. It is a lot of fun to just go around killing zombies and just having a fun time. It's just that's the whole point of these types of zombie games is going around killing zombies. That's the gist, and I find myself, having a blast doing that, and it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. It's so much fun to do, and that's what it's all about. And that's the main part of Dead Rising is killing zombies, and that's really fun to me. I want to go back to the weapons because with weapons you can modify and add add perks to your weapons, guns and melee weapons. Um, and although they're cool, I wish there was more. Uh, sorry. I wish there was more to the mods and weapon modifications because it seems like for most weapons you kind of do the same thing. You kind of do the same perks, same mods, for each weapon that you pick up. So it's it's like it's not a big deal because it's still so much fun to kill zombies, and also the weapon modifications that we have are still interesting and still pretty cool. Um, but I just wish there was more to it. So that's just a nitpick thing for me. But other than that, it's phenomenal it's just so much fun to kill zombies and do all that because it's amazing. Um, but I think that's pretty much it. I would, if I had to give it a rating, I would give this game a solid 7 out of 10. I think that the reviews speak the truth, although there are obviously some reviews that are just like, come on. But I give it a solid 7 out of 10. I enjoy it. I enjoy it so far, and I'm definitely going to be doing everything that I can with the game, such as doing every collectible, and killing every single zombie type. So I'm gonna have a blast, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.